We're on the sidewall now then, at last. So this is a block on flat and we've got pillars on the end and every kind of 6 foot intervals. So we've got the, as you've seen in the concrete, we've got that step there. So all we've done, we've put a string line down there with a tarmac spike, and then up this other end we've done a tarmac spike with a string line on it. Key areas were we needed to get a block to fit in this little gap here, and likewise with that little gap by there. So now it's just a matter of working to this first step, and then we'll put a second course on and we'll run that course. That second course then will come through all the way through to the end, and then we can set our pillars out. From update time, this wall's done. As you can see, the steps are all filled in round there. We had 13 ton of scalpings delivered yesterday, me and Frey, by hand. Yeah, old school, by hand. What did you think of doing that by hand yesterday, Frey?
Really fun.
Bloody hard work, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for a 50-year-old fat guy that's fit for nothing. So we got that pillar underway. We got that pillar underway down there as well. So we got a line set up now. I say this time and time again. If you DIYers out there building a long wall like this, our line is as tight as I can actually pull it on that corner block. But when we've measured here, it's 110. So 100mm for a block, 10mm joint. Same down that other side there, 110. In the middle, 100mm. So the line is actually sagging in the middle. So what we'll do, we'll bed up a block in the middle, 110, put a tingle on it to lift the line up, and crack on. But we have got an expansion joint as well going in the middle. If you're wondering why there's no spot boards out, it's because Fraser forgot them this morning, didn't you, Frey?
Yep.
You know, so I'm blaming Fraser. We forgot him this morning. He's happy to take the blame though, Frey, which is good. This is where we're up to. I've got some trestles in, so you just don't go down to the floor. I actually learnt that off the one and only Mr. Collison, Charlie Collison, watching one of his videos, and I thought, yeah, do you know what, that's a really good idea. So I kind of pinched it off him, and why not? And it's worked and helped me. It's helped me a lot, so you don't have to go down all the way down to the floor. So, but if you want to get these trestles, these are size 3s. So what you want is a size 2, because they're a little bit lower. These ones are a tad high, so you want them a little bit lower. So if you're going to do the same thing, get a size 2 trestle. That's what I'd recommend. Young Dayton, he had an accident this morning, fell and injured his ankle, so I had to take him to A&E this morning, and he's got ligament damage. So 3 days in and he's off for the next week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So that's disappointing. So me and Frey are back on our own again, but we just got to crack on with it. Pillars are gone in then, so that's the height of the pillars we need to take us up to 1.8, and then what the infill is then is the fencing. So pillars, if you're doing yours, what I tend to do is I just tend to lay a block on the back, and it's just a straight joint all the way up, like, so it's block on block on block all the way up like this. And then what I'll do is I put a wall tie on every single course to tie the two courses in. If you didn't want to do that and you want to do it so it's all tied in, then what you'd have to do is to return this block around so that you get a block here and a block there. Ignore the expansion joint, pretend the wall's going all the way through. So a block here, a block there, and then you'd have to cut on the second course a half in the middle to span the joint, which would be here, and then you'd have 2 3/4 either side, which would tie your pillars in then. But then when you do that, it's a lot of cutting, a lot of messing about, and to be honest with you, on a wall this size, it's not holding anything up. A wall tie straight to the middle there, it's on a foundation over the other side there, it's all foundationed up, and then when we get over the top of it, then it becomes half bond. So what I'll do now, look, is I'll put a block here and I'll put a block here, and then on the next course it'll be like this, so it'll end up like that. So it's all kind of bonded over the top of it, and it's tied in with a wall tie. So I do it like that. So what I'd also recommend when you're doing yours, all the tops of these walls, as much as they're stepped, they're all gauged, they're all level, so we got a point where we can put our gauge rod on top, knowing that the wall is all level and it's all gauged. So what I'm doing is I've built myself a gauge rod with block gauge on it, and then all I do is I just lay top of the 4th course there, look, is absolutely smack on the gauge. As long as I build all these to gauge, all the pillars and everything will all be either level to each other or gauge to each other. And then secondary to that, a block is 440 mil. So your plumbing points, so what I do, I plumb here, because I've been doing that all the way along. I plumb here, and I plumb here, and that's it. Which is supposed to have 2 plumbing points per corner, but I don't. So we just go 1, 2, 3, 4 plumbing points, and then what I do is just put my tape measure across there, make that 440, and I make that 440, and that's it, and that's ready then for my next course. wall's finished now. One last tip for you while you're there. This wall's going to be rendered, okay? So what a lot of the lads do is they joint their bed joints and perp joints with a jointing bar. So like an indentation. I don't do that because what I find over the years, back from my apprenticeship, if you come close to it, if you flush these joints up, so make that perfectly flush with the block work, your perps and your bed joints, and then run the trowel over it, flush it up, run the back of the trowel over it so you're not catching any snobs. So when the plasterer comes in, you can plaster that without catching your snobs and all the joints are full. Because how many times have you seen plaster or render on the wall then, and you can see the brick joints through it? This stops that. So yeah, keep your joints flush, don't joint them. That's my tip of the day. So there we are. Please like and subscribe, and there's more to come on this one, so stay tuned on the Sunday, and yeah, catch you on the next one. Cheers.